Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us this afternoon to talk about really the devastating impact that eliminating Head Start would have on Minnesota families, our state budget, and our economy. We're here today to raise the alarm bell that the Trump administration is planning to eliminate Head Start, the nationwide program that provides early childhood care, healthcare, and education to 800,000 children across our country. The Trump administration's current budget proposal completely eliminates all funding for the Head Start program. That means cutting critical early childhood care, health care, and education for hundreds of thousands of children across our country. That means cutting critical early childhood care, health care, and education for thousands of families right here in Minnesota. I'm joined here today by the executive director of Minnesota Head Start, Craig Gratke, who will talk in just a moment about what specifically this would mean for the Head Start program in our state and for Minnesota families. But what we're doing here today is to make explicitly clear that President Trump's budget would be catastrophic. It would mean thousands of Minnesota families would lose access to their childcare and early childhood education. That is completely unacceptable. We can't let that happen. I can tell you as an OBGYN, I've spent my life caring for moms and helping parents grow their families. It's unconscionable to me to think about taking away critical supports that help families raise their children. These are extremely important times of child's lives, and we need to make sure that they have the care, the health care, the child care, the education that they need to develop and grow and live happy, healthy lives. This budget proposal comes as we are already facing a childcare crisis in our state and across the country. This will unquestionably make it worse. We already don't have enough childcare centers. Childcare is already way too expensive. This would make it worse. This would send thousands of Minnesota families into a scramble to search for childcare when they're already facing an unworkable shortage of childcare options. And the vast majority of the parents who get their childcare through Head Start are employed. What will they do? They need a place to send their children so that they can go to work. But the Trump administration is proposing to take that away. This action by the administration will pull parents out of the workforce. It will set back hundreds of thousands of children. It will be devastating to our state budget and be a major blow to the economy. The other really big point I want to make here today is that Head Start has been supported by both Democrats and Republicans for decades, especially here in Minnesota. Just last year, actually almost a year ago to this day, on May 1st, 2024, Minnesota Congressman Pete Stauber led more than 30 Republicans, including fellow Congressman Brad Finstead, in a letter to the Appropriations Committee urging them to fund Head Start at the, quote, highest level the subcommittee deems possible. I have the letter here. In their letter, these Republican members of Congress wrote, while there are disagreements on the best use of taxpayer dollars, invest in a responsible course of action. A recent article in the Journal of Political Economy concluded that Head Start children and their children as well have on average higher educational attainment, lower teen pregnancy, and less criminal engagement. Another study concluded that every dollar invested in high quality early childhood education programs yields a return of $7 to $9 in long-term savings and societal benefits. In addition to providing children a high quality early education, the Head Start model, one committed to 360-degree development of the whole child, provides a strong foundation which sets children up for a lifetime of learning and growth in school and in the wider world. Head Start is critical for bridging developmental gaps for children who may not have the same access to opportunities by providing access to comprehensive health and nutrition services, including medical and dental screenings, nutritious meals, and referrals to healthcare providers. During the 2022-23 program year alone, Head Start staff conducted over 4.4 million home visits, helped over 560,000 children stay up to date on early and periodic diagnostic and treatment screenings, and provided preventative dental care to over 675,000 children. For decades, Congress has united around Head Start to provide high-quality early learning and support for our nation's underserved children and their families. FY25 represents an opportunity to reinvigorate this vital federal to local partnership. As you evaluate your FY25 funding requests, we urge the subcommittee to prioritize Head Start, a proven crisis-tested program that unlocks the doors to opportunity for children and families across our great nation. This will allow Head Start to continue putting those children and their families on the path to success in school and work and in life, ultimately leading to greater prosperity for future generations. Thank you for your consideration of this request. Sincerely, Pete Stauber, Member of Congress, and then many more members, Republican members, joined him in signing this letter. That's exactly what we as lawmakers should be doing. I commend them. It's a beautiful letter. Putting our children and our families on the path to success in school and work and in life, setting our children and families up for success, creating a country where they can be healthy and thrive. But this budget proposal to eliminate Head Start completely undermines all of that. Yet again, the Trump administration is failing children and families. Yet again, they're choosing to give massive tax breaks to the wealthiest Americans at the expense of childcare for our families and education for our children. It's bleak. But the good news is, as we have seen here in this letter, there's proven strong bipartisan support here. So in this moment, I'm calling on all our Republican members of Congress to continue their strong vocal support of this program, their strong vocal support for the prosperity of our future generations. We must all stand together, stand up against these disastrous budget proposals, and stand up for our children and families. We must ensure that we create a nation where our families have the support they need to be healthy and to thrive. I'm so honored to have Craig Gratke, Executive Director of Minnesota Head Start, join us, and I'll now turn it over to him. Thank you, Craig.
There we go. Thank you, Representative Morrison. I just want to take a moment and just say you nailed it on the head there, and really just called out what we've been talking about for a long time now. We know, I mean, in Minnesota, we know because we've done research on Head Start. I've been doing this work for almost 30 years. And for the last 13, we've done research, and we know the kids in Head Start do better in school. They score higher on their state achievement test, third through eighth grade. They attend school on average 10 days more per year than their same age classmates. We know that we're doing really good work for our kids. And I think that's the basis of what we're talking about, right? We're we're building future leaders. We're building scaffolding children who want to be in school, that want to learn, that want to grow, and want to do good things for Minnesota. Economically, I can't put a price tag on what that means for little kids and their whole growth. I mean, if they stay in Minnesota for their whole life, I can't put a price tag on what that brings to the state. But we can talk about, kind of the real basis, the impact of this on the ground. We have 12,000, or a little over 12,000 kids we serve annually in Minnesota in Head Start and early Head Start. That is done in right around 270 centers across the state. There are places in Minnesota that if the Head Start center goes away, there won't be centers anywhere. For many miles, it will be tough to find childcare. And so for our families, and you said that, I mean, we project that about 9,000 of our parents are in the workforce. Where are they going to find care? Are they going to have to give up their jobs? I mean, think about 9,000 parents all of a sudden faced with challenges of finding affordable childcare or childcare at all, and the decisions that they're going to have to make, and the economics of giving up your job. I mean, it's hard. And of course, I mean, all of our families in Head Start and early Head Start probably qualify for CCAP, or child care assistance, but we estimate that the amount of child care we provide is right around 8 million hours a year. That saves the state $65 million in CCAP reimbursement on the low end. And that's Minnesota. I mean, that's not national, it's Minnesota numbers. And I think really the other thing that our directors, our programs are really concerned about is the staff. 3,200 staff. Roughly a third of them are former parents or children in the program. Head Start is a preschool program, but it's grounded in anti-poverty. And so we pay our parents pretty well, and as our staff pretty well, and that's why they come back as parents come back as staff, and our kids come back, right? And for them to lose their jobs, and again, in very rural communities, it's going to be hard for them to find work. And we calculate again, estimate wise, that that's going to run about $960,000 a week in unemployment that the state's going to have to pick up. These are these are very hard pills to swallow when we're already dealing with a lot of economic issues and folks are struggling. Um, you know, this is going to be tough for our small communities, our rural communities, but also for our larger communities too. I mean, Pica in Minneapolis, um, I think 1,800 kids. I mean, in Hennepin County, to lose this program of that size is going to be devastating.
Thanks, Craig, and thanks so much for your just incredibly important work.
Well, thank you.